What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be going over all of the best small forwards in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. Because there's just a lot of new players here, let's just scatter out the new players in the random tiers, because I don't want for this just to be the new players at the very end. So this is what we're doing, we just scatter them around. So this is only going to be primary small forwards. And the small forward position is pretty good. It really is. There's about 5 or 6 really top tier small forwards, and there's a tier a little bit lower than that. But I do like this position. I think it's a very solid position. So for me, Harrison Barnes is going to be the, well, not for me. Harrison Barnes is going to be the first player that we go over. And for me, his stats are pretty decent. I just can't shoot with the guy. His release for me is terrible. Like, I know I've heard some people like it, so I'm not going to just go around and say Harrison Barnes' release is absolutely awful, because some people do seem to like it. But even though his stats are alright, like, he's got, for this, at this stage of the game, is a great no. Like, especially when we got our 5,000 MT Landry Fields. And I don't care what Ty says. As Ty said in the video, he's basically the same as Jimmy Butler. He is worth so much more than the 5k MT he goes for right now at Landry Fields. But, he's got an 83 ball, like 80 driving, like 78 lateral. I mean, I'm gonna put him C. I'm gonna put him C for now. So then we got Jamario Moon. Jamario Moon is an Evo card. He's up at Sapphire. And even at this stage, he was kind of outdated when I made this list. I think I made this list, like, it was 3 weeks ago when I made the small forward one. But, like, 79 lateral is not terrible with the Evo. But the dude can't shoot. And I get it, he's got base 5. He'll hit wide open. He will hit wide open from the corners, but sorry, at this stage in the game, he's worthless. He is worthless. So then we got Mike Miller. Mike Miller's 6'8", and I wish he had a better release. Actually, sorry, no, there's some, I don't know why I'm saying better release. I wish he was faster. Like, he's just quite slow laterally, and I get it, it's Mike Miller, so it makes sense, especially Miami Heat Mike Miller. Like, Sniper's a good badge. He shoots the ball well. And his upper kind of felt weird. Like, again, when I was evoing this card, he did not feel spectacular. He really didn't. He just felt meh. He just really felt meh. So for me, Mike Miller, he's going to go same tier as Harrison Barnes. B tier. He's going to go B tier. So now we got Wiggins. I've not played with this guy. I've only played against him a bunch of times. He was rarer than it seemed in these promo packs. Like, I know people that from promo packs have got Jermaine O'Neal, Jamal Murray, and Wiggins. I don't know how people are getting Gallinari and Sabonis, considering it's, well, they're rubies. I was about to say, I don't know what the red is, but I was like, that's very obviously ruby. I know people that have gotten all three of these guys, or they've gotten like Al Horford, Wiggins, and Jamal Murray. It's crazy. I don't know how people are getting these. I've gotten none of any of them. But Andrew Wiggins, 79 3 ball, which is makeable because he's got a decent enough upper with base 22. Not going to dribble the ball the greatest, but he's got 84 lateral. He's 6'8", long wingspan. He's kind of like a worse version of like a LeBron James. So for me, Andrew Wiggins is going to go a tier, more than a tier higher than anyone else. He's going to be our first A-tier player. So then we got Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is not bad at all. He's not bad at all. 6'5", 6'9" wingspan. His lateral leaves a little bit to be desired, but he's not going to miss wide open because he's got base 80, which is really good. Even though his shooting badges don't seem the greatest, he will hit wide open. He really will. 95 driving dunk, that was insane. He's got bronze quick first step. He's also got no real defense badges, but he can hold them. I don't know. I think I'm going to keep him in C for now, but actually no, screw it. I'm going to put him in B. He's better than these two guys. So then we got Austin Carr. And this is someone that I'm not a fan of at all. There is another Carr that I'm a big fan of, but Austin Carr is not it. Like, yes, he's got 84 speed. He doesn't have the greatest three-point shot. His release is pretty decent, though. But the dude's got 72 lateral quickness, and he's 6'4". Like, I think at this stage in the game, he offers nothing. He offers nothing. I get it. Again, he's got base 31. He's got Eddie Jones jump shot. But at this stage, I think he's worthless. I do not think he offers anything. There's going to be a lot more worthless guys than there were last time. I just think he offers nothing. And we got Bernard King. 69 3-point rating on base 5. Dude will hit shots. Dude will, without question, hit shots. 83 speed, but he's got not good lateral quickness. 85 driving dunk. He's got some silver badges. Like, I'm not that high on him, but there's a but. D tier. I think D tier is the right spot for him. Now we got Bob Dandridge. So Bob Dandridge is James Worthy clone with his dribbling and shooting. He's like James Worthy, but slightly worse at everything, which is not bad. Which is not bad at all. Like, I like that release. I know most people don't, but I'm putting Bob Dandridge in C tier. I'm putting Bob Dandridge here in C tier. He just does kind of everything at a decent rate, and for that reason, I think it's hard not to put him in C tier. If you want to move him down a tier and put him in D tier, that's fine, but I do think he's that little bit better than Bernard King. Then we have got Mullen. We got Money Mitch, or what? Not Money Mitch. Well, Money Mullen. I'm pretty sure Money is Money Mitch. I don't know why I called him Money Mullen, because they did play with each other. They definitely were not both known as the same nicknames. What's next? I'm going to be calling Tim Hardaway and Money Hardaway. Run TMC to three of those guys. One of the highest scoring trios in NBA history. I'm pretty sure pre like 2010. I'm pretty sure was it only... I think it was like even pre the Warriors. Pre the Warriors in... with Steph, Clay, and KD. Was it only like 3 teams ever that had 3 guys that averaged 20 plus? I'm pretty sure one of them was Run TMC. The other was like We Believe Warriors. And I can't remember, somebody else. And then there was the Warriors in 2017. I could be wrong on that. But he's kind of slow. He shoots the lights out. He shoots the lights out. That's all he does though. I'm going to give him C. I'm going to give him C tier. He doesn't do much else, but he shoots the lights out. Then we got Chuck Person. Chuck Person is the exact same. He shoots the lights out, but he can play power forward. 79 speed, though. He doesn't have the lateral quickness, really, to play a power forward anymore. He was really good at the start of the year. I'm going to put him B tier. I do think he's as good as Anthony Edwards. Like, he had a genuine, like, time as one of the best power forwards in the game. He really did. He really had a genuine time as one of the best power forwards in the game. And then we have got Dale Ellis. And Jesus, I'm looking at these ads. I'm on a VPN right now. Whatever the targeted ads for the VPN I'm on thinks I'm like a 50-year-old woman right now. This is hilarious. I'm just looking at these ads now. I just saw the previous one. I was like, there's something iffy with that. I was like, wine. All right, whoever's IP this VPN is spoofing is very, very evidently like a 50-year-old woman. But Dale Ellis, I mean, we all know what Dale Ellis does. He's probably the best shooter in the game off catch and shoot. He plays a little bit of defense. I don't think he's S tier. I just don't. I'm putting him in A, but he's good. He's really, really good. Then we've got Bob Dandridge. Not Bob Dandridge. We got Danilo Gallinari. I don't know how I mixed up Gallinari with Bob Dandridge. Gallinari is a 6'10 shooter. That's about it. He's got a good release. He's kind of slow. Lateral's pretty bad, but he's a 6'10. He's a power forward, realistically. He should be a power forward, but he's a small forward. Look, he's going CRD. His shooting and his just height of 6'10 probably gives him C. At this stage, I'm going to give him D tier. Then we got Granger. Granger's good. Like, Granger's got base 22. I know he's not the greatest dribbler in the world, but fundamental dribble style is okay. He's got like base 29, a really good upper. At half catch shoot, half corner specialist. Not the greatest lateral quickness, but he can get all the defensive badges. 91 3-ball, 86 speed. I think Granger is keeping his spot. Granger is keeping his spot in S tier. So then we got Darius Miles. And now this is one of the toughest ones. Darius Miles is absolutely ridiculous. He is absolutely ridiculous, lads. Darius Miles, 85 three-pointer, 85 speed, 85 acceleration, 82 lateral quickness, 85 driving dunk, 85 standing dunk. Man, he shoots so well. He can get every badge in the game because he's a glitch card. I'm telling you, lads. I am telling you. This card right here. I'm so tempted. I'm so tempted. I am so tempted. I love Darius. Like, Darius is one of my favorite cards in this game. He's the best card in A tier. He's better than Dale Ellis in my opinion. But I'm going to put him in A tier. And now we've got another one of my favorite cards in this game. We've got another one of my favorite cards in this game. Corey Kispert. Corey Kispert. 6'6", 6'7" wingspan. Ray Allen based on quick. Good lateral quickness. All the shooting badges. You guys know that this guy, I ran non-stop plays for this guy for a while. Like, Kispert's insane. But he's B tier. He's the best player in B tier right now. No question about it. He's the best player in B tier right now. Like, Corey Kispert is like, imagine if Mullen was way better. Imagine if Mullen was way better. That's basically what you're getting with Kispert. So, yeah, Kispert's not going to go A tier. I'm not going to gas it, but he's going to go B tier. Then we got Glenn. Now, Glenn's another one of those guys where it's like, he does everything well. Like, look at these stats. His steal and block rating are a little bit low, but he's got, like, all the key badges. He's got all the key stats high. He needs a couple of badges. Like, you can give him sniper. Limited spot and chef aren't needed that much. But he greens everything. He's like a slightly better in certain ways, slightly worse in certain ways Granger. Oh, I don't know. Glenn's going to go into... I don't know. S? Is S fair for Glenn? So then we got Glenn Rice. We got Glenn Rice right here. Glenn Rice is a 85 3-ball, no lateral quickness, and I don't really like his release. Glenn Rice at this stage is just going to go D tier. He's just going to go D tier. So I think that's a fair spot for him. Now we got Gus. Gus is insanely good. He's so good. Like, Gus does everything. He's basically just Glenn. He's got 83 speed, 83 acceleration, 81 three-pointer, 85 lateral quickness. I got good post game as well. He's not going to spin people. He's a good on-ball defender. He shoots the lights out. And Gus Gerard, even in these, like, Gus Gerard's in my roster for tournaments. So, like, the real question is ARS. I think Darius Miles is better than Gus, but I'm putting Gus in A. Then we got Gerald Wallace. Now, this guy right here is decent. Got the same SIGs as Keenan. He's also got not a great 3-ball, but really good on defense. Not the greatest on-ball steal tendency, but he does get good animations. 90 driving dunk, gold clamp, or silver clamps. He's got Hustler on gold, off-ball pest on Hall of Fame. He's a ball stripper on bronze. He's also got downhill on silver. Just a really solid player. Like, his defense good. He's not going to dribble. He's going to be a really good 3-and-D guy. But for me, he's going to go best in B. I'm actually going to move around these tiers a little bit. You're going to go into worthless. You're going to go down. You guys are going to go down. But you guys are going to become the best in this tier. And yeah, that works. That looks better. That looks better. We've got all offense in Kispert and all defense in Gerald Wallace. So then we got Jalen Rose. Rose is kind of one of those super underrated players that people kind of forgot about. But Jalen Rose has got 80 speed, 80 acceleration, 77 3-ball. His lateral's pretty bad, but he's got so many silver badges, silver quick first step, that people just kind of forgot. People just kind of forgot about this guy. Quick dribble style as well. He's got not the greatest ball handle, but I'm telling you, this card here is... He's really solid. With those hot zones, like, people forgot about him because of how many good Ruby token words there are, but he's going to go C. He's going to go C. And he's one of the higher ones to C. So now I'm just going to try find the worthless players. Like, we're through... Say, actually, there's no point. This is because we're not that long into the tier list. So then we get Jamal Wilkes. Jamal Wilkes' stats look good. Like, yeah, he has a low 3-ball, but you're like, okay, normally, like, you can still hit sometimes with guys with low 3-balls. So you look at his defense, he's got a lot of defensive badges. 87 lateral. Like, you basically just get this guy for completing the Western Conference in all-time dom, I'm pretty sure, but he's so bad. Like, he's D tier. Like, I'm not going to quite put him worthless tier because he definitely can play some defense. He really sucks. He really, really sucks. So, I'm putting him in D tier. Then we got Jamal Mashburn, 78 speed, 79 3 ball, 74 lateral. Good enough post game, got like silver post spin technician. Base 1's a really good release. He's not bad, especially if you're playing him as a power forward. He's not bad at all. With that release and stuff, I think he's just like slightly better Chuck Person in my opinion. I still think that this tier is right for him. Jared Jackson, there's no point going over him. He's worthless tier. At this stage in the game, Jerome Kersey is worthless tier. So then we got Julius Erving. Now this card here is a chicken man. His release is so good. His dribbling is okay. His defense is really good. 90 speed, 90 acceleration. He's got that 84 lateral. He can get basically every defensive badge. Got that 85 driving dunk. Not a great block rating, but there was a reason why you saw basically every competitive player using this guy in their squad at the start of the year. Like Dr. J is that dude. Dr. J well and truly is that dude. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm going to put him in right up here high in A tier. He's going right up here in A tier. And joining him in A tier is going to be Landry Fields. Landry Fields, I can't even type in Fields. I before E except after C, Mick. Always remember that. But I just kept calling him Felds. Or Failds. But Landry Fields is ridiculous. He is ridiculous. He's going to go right there into A tier. He's basically Jimmy Butler. Except base 4. I prefer base. I really like base 4. Like I liked it on Donovan Mitchell. I've liked it on a lot of guys over the years. I really liked it on Dino Raja and Kevin McHale in NBA 2K. I really liked it on Dino last year. I think he had it. I really liked it on Dino and Kevin McHale in 2K20 as well. I've kind of liked base, always liked base 4. But with him, you're getting an upgrade. I don't mind because I liked shooting with Fournier. You've got like 88 lateral quickness. His steal tendency is not terrible, 66 at this stage in the game. Gold clamps, gold interceptor, gold ankle raise, gold pick dodger. Silver pickpocket, can get every defensive badge in the game, can get every playmaking badge in the game. He's A tier, no brainer. No question about it. He is A tier. So then we got Jermaine Jones, who's the next player. And Jermaine Jones is like 79 3-pointer, 79 speed, 83 lateral. Like, if you're looking even with how that base 25 is really decent as well. He's basically like a no badges version of Chuck Person. Like Jermaine Jones, I'm putting top of D. I'm putting him top of D. I don't mind his card at all. And we got Karis LeVert. So Karis LeVert has that base 70 on quick. I find it really hard to time. Like, I know a lot of people really do like base 70 on quick, but I really struggle with it. He's got not great dribbling, but he's got a decent enough 3-ball, good enough speed, okay lateral. His main thing is that he's a release on quick. Like, am I that high on this card? Not at all. I'm not at all high on this card. He's going B tier. He's going B tier. But I don't like this card. Like, I like Gary Harris, but I don't shoot well with Gary Harris. And Gary Harris is the same release. So, Cam Reddish, 84 offense, 87 defense overall. Cam Reddish is 6'8". If he could play at the 2, it would be unbelievable. I think 86 lateral, 85 driving dunk, 81 3-ball. He will be on every Sapphire Limited team probably for the rest of the year. He's got Paul George base. He's got a gold hustler, silver interceptor, bronze quick first step, silver catch and shoot. A really decent release. Not the greatest dribbling in the world, but Cam Reddish is a really good card. So like Cam, I don't think Cam quite makes it into A tier. But I do think Cam is one of the best in B tier. I think my B tier rank is like Cam Reddish 1. One of these two guys is second and third, and then I'm going to have Karis LeVert at the end. But then we got Kawhi. I mean, this Kawhi Leonard is not good, but he's not bad either. Like, he's not bad. Like, he's got a 73 ball. But he's got Ray Allen base, so he'll hit them. He still gets the Kawhi defensive animations. Even though he doesn't have clamps, he still gets 83 lateral. I mean, for what he is, he's not awful. He's going to go D tier, but for what he is, it's not terrible. I hate this card so much, by the way. This next card. I hate Taylor Horton Tucker so much. I've tried him evoed, I've tried him not evoed. At least with the evo, he becomes a tiny better 3-point shooter. The guy doesn't play much defense. I hate his release. I hate that Big O release so much. Even though I don't, like, I was about to say I don't mind Big O. It's like, I haven't even used Big O this year. I don't know what I'm talking about. I hate it on Big O. Or I hated it on Big O last year. I hate it on him this year. I didn't mind that on Eric Gordon last year. I just don't know why I hate it so much on Taylor Horton Tucker. For me, he doesn't even feel like he can dribble the ball well. He doesn't play good defense for me. This card's awful. Like, I'm putting him in D tier. Even evoed up, I'm putting him in D tier. I don't care. I don't rate him at all. So then we've got Vince Cone. He's a cone. Vince Carter is... I don't care what badges the dude has, what his speed rating is. He feels slow as heck, but he doesn't miss. He is one of the best catch and shoot players in the game. That release is unbelievably easy to green. But at the end of the day, he's just not that good. But, does he get one of my 5 S tier spots? I think he does. I think he's ridiculous for his price. I think Kobe Bryant is better than him. But I think... I don't know. I think he deserves one of the 5 S tier spots as a top 5. But I mean, it's close. It is really, really close. Like, it's really going to be between him and... No, he doesn't. It's between him and Glenn, and I'm taking Glenn. I'm putting Vince Carter in A tier. I'm keeping 5 players in S tier, and I can see 3 players I like more than him. So then we got X-Man Xavier McDaniel. But at the same time, if you like Vince and you can hit shots with him, be my guest. For me, Vince is just a chicken man. X-Man, his stats are mediocre. His shooting is okay. What the hell is this ad? Okay. I need to invest in some ad block for doing these videos. But yeah, Xavier McDaniel, like D, he's like very similar, like Jermaine Jones, he's fine. Now we got Kawhi. So Kawhi Leonard is a really good card in my opinion. Kawhi Leonard has got that 83 pointer, 83 speed, 83 acceleration, 90 lateral quickness, 80 driving dunk, got that gold clamps. Got the Kawhi defensive stance. Is almost the offense. He's only 78, but it doesn't matter. It's Kawhi Leonard. He's got Ray Allen base, which is chicken. He gets Pro 5 behind the back, which is the Kawhi Leonard behind the back. So for me, Kawhi Leonard, no-brainer S. Kawhi is without question better than Vince. Kawhi is definitely better than a Vince Carter, in my opinion. So then we've got Kelly Oubre Jr. So Kelly Oubre, he's a decent catch and shoot player with decent speed and just all around just decent card. The question is, like, I'm gonna put him low C, but you could put, he's either low C or high D. He's not spectacular, but again, for what he is really, really good. So then we got Andre Iguodala. So Iggy, for me, Iggy's not got the greatest dribble style, but Iggy's defense is good. Again, that's 85 tendency, 90 lateral, 90 driving dunk. The guy gets no pickpocket though, which is a little bit of a problem. Yes, he gets gold clamps, gold hustler, half off ball pest. But as you can see right here, lads, fate of the universe on the line. The Martians have the death beam pointed on Earth. You've got to make it. One shot to save humanity. I want Iguodala with Hall of Fame clutch shooter. But no, in reality, Iguodala is a very, very solid player, but I'm putting him in A. I don't think he belongs any higher than that. If you want to argue him in S, I wouldn't. I don't think he's Kawhi. Like, you can maybe argue him over Glenn. And you can argue Vince over Granger. I was about to say, Kawhi is probably the hardest player to argue right now out of all these guys out of S tier. But for me, Iguodala is going to go into that A tier category. Then we got Kelly Chapuka. He shoots. He's like, imagine if Drazen was good. If Drazen could do other things than shoot the ball. Like, that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. He's like better Drazen. Kelly, B tier. Okay, are there any worthless players? You are worthless. This guy here is so bad. Like, you do not understand how bad this card is. So I think any other guys that can just straight away go into this tier. Him. At this stage in the game, he's worthless. At this stage in the game, he's worthless. He's awful. This Paul George is useless. This might be the worst card in the game. I actually have to go over Lionel Simmons' stats because he might be the worst Emerald card in the game. He was so good last year. And this year, they gave him base 22, which is the same release as like every single card in the game. Like, I'm pretty sure, does Lou Hudson not have that exact release? Lou Hudson, base 22, upper 71. How many of these guys have base 22? I'm pretty sure Mark Aguirre has base 22 as well. Yeah. So basically, they gave him, instead of, he had like his own unique jump shot last year, which was so chicken on very quick. But like, this year, you can't, like, not only have they've taken away his unique jump shot and gave him a jump shot, the same jump shot as like 10 other players. And then he does nothing. He plays no defense, he's slow, and he can't shoot. He's a garbage man. He is a absolute garbage man. Another absolute garbage man is this Kevin Durant. He's got like a 60-something three-pointer. Okay, so then we got Kiki Vandeweghe. Kiki Vandeweghe, there are definitely at least one more player that's going to go into worthless here, but I have enough. I kind of want to show up or explain reasons why for those guys. But Kiki Vandeweghe, he's slow, but he shoots moderately well from mid-range. I mean, Kiki's very close to being a worthless, but Kiki's going to go D tier. Then we got Jimmy Butler. As I've said, Jimmy Butler is going to go A tier. The real question is, though, is Jimmy Butler better than Andrew Wiggins? That's an interesting one. Because for me, I prefer Landry to Jimmy, but like, it's preference. I genuinely think it's just preference for those two guys. I've used both of them. I had them both in my squad. For me, it is just preference between these two. But these guys are just basically the same release. So you got like +7 lateral on Jimmy, which is fair. In terms of badges, you got like no clamps on Wiggins. You got a few better defensive badges, but I think you can add them to Wiggins. The one Hall of Fame badge is Hustler. Joni really matters on current gen. Wiggins is a much better dunker. In terms of stats, Wiggins is a little better shooter, but it's so little that it's irrelevant. Jimmy's got that higher ball handle, but most of the time Wiggins is going to get boosted up. Pretty sure they both a slasher dribble style. Both a base 22. I think this is a preference base because Andrew Wiggins is more length. This, like, again, Wiggins versus Butler versus Fields is just preference. They all do the same thing. They all do the exact same thing. It's just preference. So then we got Keenan. So Larry Keenan, I'm putting both Larry Keens in the same tier, by the way. I think they both play the exact same. He's got 83 speed, 83 acceleration. He can do everything but shoot. Even though he can't get clamps, his defense is still pretty good. His animations are good. I'm putting both Larry Keenans because I think they both are almost identical cards. I'm putting both the Larry Keenan cards into... You can see them both here. Screw it. Let's move him down. So these are here. They're going to both go into C tier. I think they're pretty good. So then we've got our next S tier player, and it's LeBron James. Basically, LeBron James is the guy that people use to just sit. It doesn't matter which version of LeBron. This one gets half diamond, the other one doesn't. It doesn't really matter. But like LeBron's stats and badges, you're like, okay, he's a decent lateral quickness. Nah, LeBron, even with his bad defensive tendencies, people just put LeBron on ball and just he sits on them. His release is really good on next gen, not great on current gen. He hits very, very well on next gen. It's a no-brainer. It doesn't matter which version of LeBron, they're both S tier. Absolute no-brainer there with LeBron James. And you'll kind of see why. And then another guy that's in S tier, and it's a reason why I don't have Kawhi or Vince Carter in S. It's the reason why I haven't put any of these other guys in S tier, because I think LeBron is just quite a bit better. And this guy right here is, for me, S tier. ML Carr. The best defensive player in the game. Bar none. He can kind of shoot. 75 3 ball. Yes, he's got no badges, but his release is really good. His defense is a joke. It is a joke how good this card is on defense. ML Carr, he makes the game like, he's my main man. Like, the only time, like when I've been playing competitively, I just stick him on ball. No matter what. He can switch on to big men with that Hall of Fame pickpocket half the time and Golden Intimidator half the time. He actually stops big men inside. He's not going to stop anyone trying to do the monster mash, but like, at the same time, not even big men can stop the monster mash. But ML Carr is insanely good. The best defense player bar none. Like for me, ML Carr versus Kawhi is, do you want to sacrifice a little bit of defense with Kawhi and for a little bit better shooting? Or do you want to have the single best defender in the game with a little bit less shooting? And that's crazy because normally it used to be a case where Kawhi was the best defender in the game. But no, I'm putting ML Carr in that category. I'm putting ML Carr in that category, lads. So, looking at the rest of this list, we're kind of out of the S tier and the A tier range. The rest of these guys. But Lou Hudson's a pretty good card. Don't get me wrong, Lou Hudson's a pretty good card. 6'5", 6'8" wingspan, 81 speed, 88 3 ball, 82 lateral, 83 driving dunk. He's got that same generic release that Lionel Simmons has. Except the difference is, this card's actually good. B tier. Lou Hudson's a really nice card. If you can pick him up sometime, like if you're not going to use him because he is a little bit too expensive. Like it's not like he's that different than Landry Fields, and Landry Fields is a step up. It's not. I would say it's not like he's that much different from Darius Miles, but yeah, Darius Miles is like 15k right now. I wish I just invested in Darius Miles cards when he was like 6k, because I easily could have. I just keep forgetting that it's like at the start of the year these guys do hold a little bit of value, which is at the end of the year they don't. Like Stockton held value for so long last year. Then we got Wally Zerbiak. I mean, Wally's just Wally. I'm gonna put Wally in worthless, honestly. I don't rate him. So now we got Michael Finley. Like it's hard to like without a reason put a Ruby in this tier, especially Ruby whose stats look really nice. But he has set shot 4, which I don't mind set shot 4 in general. Like it all depends on who it's on. Like if somebody has set shot 4 with a good upper, I don't mind it. But Peja Stojakovic is one of a CP3 upper with set shot 4. It is a joke how bad it is. His set shot 4 is with Bam Adebayo's upper. Like that is one of the worst uppers in the game. Like we all remember Bam Adebayo last year. How almost everybody struggled with Bam Adebayo just because of his upper, even though he had one of the best bases in the game in 69 last year. Like we all remember how nobody liked Bam Adebayo, and it was because of his upper. And they gave that along with a set shot, which is weird to time. Michael Finley's worthless. He is legitimately worthless. So then we got Paul Pressey. And Paul Pressey, again, he's somebody that I'm pretty sure has only ever appeared as like back in the day as a historic card or a token card. I am almost 100% certain we have never seen a promo Paul Pressey appear in a promo ever in 2K history. But he's got good lateral quickness and he's got clamps. He's a good defender, decent speed with, again, that exact same release as like Lou Hudson. Like, he's C, but I mean, if you want to move him to B, I'm not gonna begrudge you for that. Like, he's solid. Then we got Peja Stojakovic. Peja sucks. Like, he's got that set shot 4, and again, the Chris Paul upper. The Chris Paul upper is fine when it's on a decent base. But Chris Paul's upper, it is a bit weird. And you combine that with a base where you can barely time. Like, it's awkward to time set shot 4, and it's even more awkward with an upper where the ball is brought over the player's head. Yes, I get he's got limitless takeoff. This speed feels like 17. He can't play defense. This guy is like, imagine Duncan Robinson, but 10 times worse. I mean, Peja, you're lucky you're not in worthless tier. You are useless. You are useless. And now what may be the most useless card in the game? Rick Barry. 79 3 ball. You're thinking, okay, 79 3 ball, not bad. 6'7", okay height. Speed's not the greatest. Dude is bad on defense. Can only kind of shoot with his ratings and badges. Dude's got base 18, which is one of the worst in the game. We all know it as the man who jump shot. with the James Worthy / Al Horford upper. He has got the worst jump shot in the game. And I'm not saying set shots. There are set shots that are worse than base 18. He's got the worst in terms of just the normal jump shot release in the game, combined with the worst, arguably the worst upper in the game. This guy's worthless. This guy is legitimately worthless. And I'm surprised to say this because he's a freaking amethyst. And I've got a gold player in B tier, but he's worthless. He's 16 ratings above Kispert, and he's worthless. Okay, then we got Rolando Blackman. I don't mind his release. 86 speed, 82 lateral, 85 driving dunk, some decent shooting badges. Bronze quick first step. Set shot 3 is not a great release. I don't mind it that much. It's not a good release, but he gets quick dribble style as well with his decent ball handling. Like, I'm going to put him in like C tier. If you want to move him down to D, that's fine. He's like between C and D. And now we've got a good player on our hands right here. We got Sean Elliott. So Sean Elliott with that base 29 is not a great dribbler, but he's a decent defender, decent height, decent speed. Got like all the shooting badges, got a few defensive badges. And Sean Elliott for me is probably going top of B. If you want to argue Sean Elliott and A, that's fine. That is fine. I think he's that tiny bit below all of these guys here, but I think B is definitely the fair spot. Is the fair spot for him. Then we got Battier. I mean, I don't know why I'm putting Battier. Like, Battier is alright if you get him in drafts. He can kind of shoot. Steve Smith is not that much relevance. Again, he's another base 22 shooter, which is like half the damn cards in the game. But he's an okay defender. He shoots kind of well. Base 22. I don't think any of these guys are 22 as far as I'm aware. He's just meh. Put him in C tier. So then we got TJ Warren, Tim Hardaway Jr. Now, both of these guys are very, very different players. So TJ Warren is one of those players that basically everyone has, but we're all just like, is he really that good? Like, he's big. He plays some defense. He should be able to shoot the ball. Like, stats-wise, he looks nearly perfect. Like, stats-wise, if you compare this guy right here to a Landry Fields, he looks as good, especially because he can get clamps and stuff. Stats and badges-wise, you might be thinking, I just can't agree with this jumper. Like, he has to go B tier. He has to go B tier. But I just can't agree with him. And then we got Tim Hardaway Jr. One of the biggest lies in this entire game is that Tim Hardaway Jr. has got under 80 speed. 78 speed on him is the biggest lie in the game. He shoots the lights out. This upper, some don't like it. I really do on him. Throw 3 behind the back. For me, he's exceptional. Like, again, I ran him the first time I played comp. The first term that I played this year, I ran Tim Hardaway Jr. And he was super, super good. So Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to go B tier. And now we got Steven Jackson. Now this guy right here, I cannot wait till we got like a diamond Steven Jackson at some stage. Like, he's got Rudy Gay base, which is insanely good. Like, one of the best in the game. And he's got his upper as well. Like, we're waiting for, like, you're looking at these cards. RJ Barrett, Rudy himself, Julius Erving, and Steven Jackson. We're waiting for one of these guys to get a promo card that's usable in game. I'm trying to think of who the most likely one is. I think we might see a glitched Rudy. Like Darius Miles with like a 93 ball or something. That card will be broken. That card will be so freaking good. Like, if we can manage to get a glitch Rudy Gay, like, that card, even if he's an amethyst, will be one of the best cards in the game. But he's an 84 3 ball. Not the greatest lateral, not good acceleration. He's got like if he had high lateral and high acceleration, because his overall defensive stats and badges are good. If he had high lateral, like, say if his lateral was 80 and his acceleration was 80, we'd be looking at a guy that would still be ran today at the small forward position. But because, like, again, acceleration is a tough stat and so is lateral, I'm going to put him as one of the highest in B. Up there with Sean. I think him and Sean Elliott are like a tier of their own in B tier. And then maybe you can argue Cam Reddish in that conversation as well. And if you're good with TJ Warren. Like, if you are good with TJ Warren, these 4 guys are in like a tier of their own here. Whereas these guys, I still think they're way better than C tier. I think the cutoff, I think after B tier is really the cutoff where I'm like, you know what? these guys right here are all more than usable in most scenarios in 2K. Like, obviously, you're not going to go into comp with Corey Kispert and not expect him to get cooked. You're not going to... Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to get cooked unless you can hide him. Cam may not work against some dude running Glenn Robinson or LeBron James. But these guys right here, I think even in a lot of limited settings, their main purpose would be if you get them in the draft. And that's the reason why I'm keeping a lot of these lower overall players in these tier lists. Because if you see these guys, a lot of people do play draft, and if you see these guys, you'll know kind of which cards are half decent. But this is the way I'm ending the tier list. So I think, for me, Darius Miles is probably the closest to S tier the way I play, or Gus. Because I think Gus, Darius Miles, and Glenn are all very, very comparable. I think the no-brainers for me in S tier are Kawhi, LeBron, and ML Carr. I think Granger's pretty much set there as well. But like, if you want to replace Glenn with Vince, I'm not going to say you're wrong. If you wanted to put Dale Ellis there instead of one of these guys, it's fine. I think the Jimmy versus Wiggins versus Landry Fields argument is literally just a preference one. I think obviously if you got Wiggins for free, just use Wiggins. And this argument here, just use Landry Fields. He's way cheaper. But Dr. J is pretty good as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it, lads. That is the video. This is the small forward tier list. We're actually going to do the power forward tier list later on tonight. So man, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.